This is Michael Kowalski, writer and performer of Mothman, True Story, and you are listening to the Unbelievers podcast. I know you wouldn't like it.
There were several groups. One of the principal ones was the reptilians from the Orion complex.
Without any exaggeration, it was like being on fire inside.
Rats were eating you up inside.
This stuff was in my mouth and it felt like it was 500 degrees. It was unbelievably hot.
My first question would be, were you a member of the Church of Satan, a card-carrying member of the Church of Satan?
I don't understand.
There's always an argument for everything. You know, just because somebody can fake something doesn't necessarily mean it's
war, and we found a life form. And that's when I started shitting my pants.
So for the person who called, I am carrying an alien.
An alien baby. We covered right here, okay?
Something is happening. What is it? That's the question. So do UFOs exist? It depends on what you mean exist.
Horror anthologies, a popular genre since the early days of television, with programs such as The Twilight Zone, Outer Limits, and Night Gallery becoming mainstays of broadcast syndication. This genre continues on to this day, with modern additions like Black Mirror, Cabinet of Curiosities, and Creepshow continuing the popularity of short-form horror for an all-new audience. But what if I told you that Zak Bagans now has his own horror anthology? I will tonight, as the Unbelievers podcast returns to break down the latest spooky offering from the king of ghost hunting reality shows, as he teams up with the modern master of horror to bring us all inside his very own haunted museum. Right here in the program, we continue to learn to unlearn everything you know. Hello and welcome to the Unbelievers podcast. I'm Rus Ryan, and joining me as always is Drea Mora. Hello, Drea.
Hi.
Hi there. And of course, soundboard engineer and producer, Rob Okey.
Oh my God.
What?
Moment complete.
Wow. How's it going, guys? What's going on?
I'm just glad that moment was completed.
Yeah. I had to do it.
I missed that.
Yeah. That's so...
I had to do it to him.
We're back. We've been on a bit of a little spring break hiatus. They said we weren't coming back. It couldn't be done. But we're here. It's Drea. It's Russ. It's Rob.
Them.
We're doing it. We're back. And it's good to be with you guys. I'm glad to see y'all. How you been?
Yeah, good. Having a great weekend. Hope you've had a good Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day, Russ.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know I'm not sure when this is coming out, but yes, we are recording this Mother's Day night. A little belated Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We love all the moms.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Yeah, I mean, we've all been super busy, but it's good to get back into it. And I think we have a great topic to get back into as far as Unbelievers classic characters go. If you don't know
Would this
about
be
that.
an instant classic, do you think?
I don't know if it's an instant classic, but it's going to grow on you for sure.
No, call your shot. We're calling it now. Welcome. Let's get into it now. The new instant classic. It's time for The Haunted Museum.
It's late in the night, almost 3 a.m., and I'm in the dungeon right now. It's pitch black, and it's time to see who else is here with me.
In my dungeon. All right. Yes, that is a great song called In My Dungeon with Zak Bagans on vocals. It's a fan-made song, but definitely better than anything Nick Groff ever made. I'll go on record saying that.
Hands down, several hands down. That bass line was sick.
That wasn't bad, honestly. Had like kind of, I thought it was going to be kind of Rob Zombie-ish, but what would you call that genre? Is that like Bagans core?
Bagpipes? I don't know.
Ooh, it is kind of
Bagans bringing the pipes. Bagans pipes. I like that.
Ew. Sorry, my mind just...
But yeah, that's where we are. Yeah, boy, we are back on the Zak Bagans beat in a major way, and we have been ignoring him for a while, and I think that's unfair. He deserves attention.
I think it's what we had to do.
Yeah, he did, but he deserves attention more than anyone in the paranormal realm, and we have been denying him of that. The last Zak Bagans adjacent episode we have is that Nick Groff versus Bagans from last year, and that was almost exclusively about Nick Groff and his bad shows and his even worse music, but he pales in comparison to the king. So let's catch up on what Zak Bagans has been up to since then, because as we know, he has gone out of his way to have any competition to his crown removed from the Travel Channel. So that leaves us with nothing but more time for Zak Bagans shows, which they must do better than the other shows, right? That's got to be a reason why they just are. There's a lot of new Zak Bagans content. People seem to hate that Bagans has legit power and influence over these basic cable networks, but it is a fact.
Well, I mean, he has a massive, massive fan base that he's acquired over the years. And it's, you forget how long he's been doing this. Like, we've been doing our show for 6 years. It's been 6 years. So think about, and he had been in the game for a minute when we started doing this show. So Zak's legit an OG veteran in the paranormal, paranormal entertainment game, I guess, at this point.
It's like, you have to admit, as much as we may be annoyed by him and he's a douche, he knows what he's doing. Like, he is an icon, really, at this point in the
as far as like making paranormal entertainment goes. I guess he knows what he's doing. Like, he knows how to produce a ghost documentary, quote unquote, documentary style show and constrict it to either a half hour or an hour very well. He's kind of like figured out the equation to what works when it comes to creating that sort of content.
He has figured it out, but what he hasn't figured it out is like how to just like not be such a dude. Imagine if he actually was like working on being a cool person. He'd have even more fans. He
in his mind, he is cool. What are you talking about? He's the coolest guy ever.
Right.
Like, he wears all these
Oliver
prep shirts, fingerless gloves. The cool shit, that's the last thing he's worried about. He knows he's cool.
Have you seen his Camaro?
Have you seen how many black jackets he owns? He is fucking cool. Like, I don't know.
He does have more than I do. That's true.
His Ray-Ban glasses.
Than me, man.
Like,
he's so cool.
Yes. He's got that part down. And the networks know it because the networks, they want to succeed. And from everything we've witnessed, Zak is very successful as a television ghost hunter. You can't argue that. Yeah, he sucks, but a lot of people, they don't care. They love him. And in some ways, I can look past that too, because I really, really want to go to his haunted museum in Vegas. We have to do some kind of Unbelievers meetup or something. Vegas has Zak. It also has PP. And in fact, the first time we ever did
Vegas, dude.
Vegas has Zak and it has PP. Those are the two biggest attractions that Vegas has.
There's so much PP in Vegas.
The two pillars of the Unbelievers podcast are Zak Bagans and
some people go to Vegas for the Sphere, or maybe they go there, for
the PP.
To see the Strip, the timeless Vegas Strip. But no, not the Unbelievers. We go for the fucking haunted museum and the PP tour.
That's right. And like I was saying,
hidden gems, right?
The first time that we ever did a Zak Bagans episode was the live haunted museum shit show. So we know a good amount about this monument to monstrous memorabilia already. But wait, there's more. There is not enough time and energy in the regular episodes of Ghost Adventures to truly tell the terrifying tales of these historically haunted items in this museum. You would need a highly produced cinematic production to give these curious items the respect they deserve, which is exactly what Zak Bagans did last year, releasing an all-new program titled The Haunted Museum. And I'll give you the description here. Paranormal investigator and host of Ghost Adventure, Zak Bagans, joined forces with filmmaker Eli Roth. the modern master of horror, to present a terrifying film anthology inspired by pieces found in Zak's personal collection of haunted artifacts. That's right. This is a collab with, quote, modern master of horror, Eli Roth. Are you guys fans of Eli Roth? You know, he's best known for Hostel, Cabin Fever, Thanksgiving.
Well, Russ, if we're fans, we would know that already. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he does good stuff. There was I think it was like a series of like short films, like an anthology of like short horror films that it was supposed to be like state to state, I think. And I'm pretty sure that was Eli Roth. And either way, it was really good. So if it's not, I don't know, check it out anyway.
He's good as an actor too. He was in a bunch of films, most famously playing Donnie the Bear Jew Donowitz in Inglourious Bastards. That is Eli Roth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, I had no
All
idea.
right, yeah.
actually.
I like Eli Roth a lot.
Which, you know what's interesting, Russ? I have an interesting fact about that role. Did you know that role was actually written for Adam Sandler?
What? No.
I think I did hear that.
Yes.
Hear that, yes.
The role was actually designed and written for Adam Sandler, but for whatever reason, he dropped out of the film in like the last minute. And
For
Eli
the
Roth
reason that
came
it
in.
wouldn't make any sense.
Oh,
I mean, like it would.
He went a little over the top with it.
It would do that thing where it just completely removes you from the movie. You know, it's like, oh, come on. Like, come on, do the voice.
When's David Spade going to show up, you know?
Or it could have been a defining moment for Adam Sandler's career. It really could have like changed his whole trajectory of his career. You know, he did kind of.
And Mike Myers was also in that movie
He's already
too.
established pretty well.
No, but I mean, you know how he became.
It would put the trajectory downward after that?
He became a more serious
Straight to
actor
hell.
over the past couple of years. He's taken on more serious roles. I feel like that might have just
Reign
kind of
Over Me
like
was
jump started
fucking
that
heavy.
for him. But you know, who knows? I just think that I always feel like that's a really fun little thing to think about.
Eli Roth crushed the role in more ways than one.
Yeah.
I feel like for some reason I haven't seen a lot of his movies. Like I was looking through all of his films on IMDb, and for whatever reason, I kind of feel like I've missed the boat on a lot of these. So I'm going to go back and watch some of them.
Yeah, he doesn't get the big push that a lot of them do. I mean, Hostel, of course, was his big breakout, but he's done a lot of television, and this is included in it. And I like Eli Roth. He's the guy who made his way up just making these genre movies. Much respect. But now he has shifted his focus into the paranormal, full on, teaming up with Zak Bagans for this episodic series telling the horrifying tales of things that Zak Bagans has bought over the last few years. And let's just get a feel for this. So let's get into the first clip of the first episode, which is a great place to start, of the Haunted Museum TV show.
I've spent my life searching for entities that come from beyond our world. But in the case of this next story, the opposite is true. This time, I believe something came looking for me. Several years ago, I entered an antique store, and almost immediately I was struck by a powerful kind of energy. Something in that shop was reaching out to me, calling me. That something was a massive dollhouse, unlike anything I've ever seen. After I left the shop, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Finally, I gave in and I bought it. And immediately after, I felt a strange compulsion to fill it with satanic symbols and images. I couldn't understand why this was happening, but soon the pieces began to fall into place.
Wow, great start to a show. Zak sees a dollhouse. He just can't stop thinking about it. He leaves and can't stop thinking about how bad he needs this thing. And then he says,
daydreaming about all the adventures his dolls are going to have.
He's like, F this, I need it, but I got to Satan and metal it up a little bit. I got to, this is a metal dollhouse now.
I'm not regular like dollhouses. I'm a cool dollhouse.
Guys, I can't stop thinking about this dollhouse. This is
but no, like in a cool way though. Like it's gonna be like an evil dollhouse. Like, all right.
I laid my eyes on this dollhouse, and I just couldn't stop thinking about it all night while I was laying in my bed. It's like, Zak, relax, dude. It's a dollhouse.
He's so intense, but you nailed his energy there. That was
yeah. I like how he says dollhouse. That's my favorite.
Dollhouse.
Yeah.
That's right.
Doll pineapples.
But this is no ordinary evil dollhouse though. Oh no, it's very, very evil.
Now, sometime later, I had the opportunity to investigate the infamous Westerfeld house. Throughout the 60s and 70s, it was used by Satanists like Anton LaVey and Kenneth Anger to summon demons and conjure the devil himself. Once my investigation began, I made an incredible discovery. My dollhouse is an exact replica of this dark fortress.
That is a great flea market find. Now, what are the odds that Zak Bagans, of all people, would come across this? It's incredible.
I know. It's almost like somebody, called him and said, "Hey, Guy, I've got this this dollhouse I think you might be interested in." And he's like, "My name's not Guy, it's Zak."
And he ran out of Satanists real quick.
Of course, he didn't just happen upon it. He's
Anton LaVey, Kenneth Anger. I was like, wasn't Kenneth Anger like an author who wrote Hollywood Babylon? I'm pretty sure. Like,
I have no
idea.
idea.
I don't have him. Maybe we got to look into his satanic ties right there.
We should probably describe this dollhouse just like a little bit for the listeners, because this is not a little dollhouse. We're not talking about like
it's a doll mansion. Basically, it's really big.
It's like those like Victorian style house that's like it's white. It's got like what 3 floors, 4 floors, possibly 3 in an attic.
Well, that's like what's a good reference point? Like
like the Addams Family house or something.
Well, like say as in toys. Like what was the mountain from He-Man? What was that called?
The Grayskull? Castle Grayskull?
It's a great Castle Grayskull. So like the Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, it's about like 10 of those.
It's like 10 of those stacked on top of each other.
Why don't we just say it's like it's about as tall as
a little kid. Like a little kid could stand and hold the doll.
Skeletor, the master of the universe.
Right. It doesn't have cool features like that,
I would say that it would probably have come to my shoulders, and I'm like 5'6". So
it's pretty
not
big.
A small dollhouse. This is a dollhouse that takes up half of the room.
Dollhouse cookies.
It's a dollhouse that's hard to get into your actual house.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of just a setup to what we're going to get, because these are cinematic tellings of these items. And since Zak is only included in this intro portion of his own show, The Haunted Museum, he needs to take advantage of this brief screen time by unloading a huge info dump on this dollhouse.
And I now wonder if the ceremonies conducted at the Westerfeld house could have also opened a parallel portal in the dollhouse that remains open to this day. My suspicions were confirmed by a psychic I recently consulted. Now, she believes the dollhouse contains an active demonic portal, but she went even further. She said that it is one of the most dangerous and demonic objects that she has ever seen.
Whoa. So, look, say what you want about Zak. He has that alliteration and like run-on sentence pronunciation down pat. And also, wow, like what are the odds? Zak gets an exact replica, man. This really is unbelievable.
What are the odds? It's not like he's constantly looking for stuff. He doesn't have time to look for that shit. He's got people scoping it out for him. I bet.
Well, some things are just meant to be. Like Zak was meant to have this dollhouse. I think that's clear at this point.
He deserves it.
Some things happen by chance, and other things are just the universe connecting the dots.
Yeah, in his whole career.
Either that's chance.
Either synchronicity exists or Zak is full of shit. I don't want to believe that at all. I do have a soundboard clip here. It just says dollhouse. I want to see what it is.
Dollhouse is an exact replica of this dark fortress.
He sounds like
a dollhouse supercut.
He sounds like a little kid who is flexing to his friends about
my
his new
dollhouse.
Yeah, just that. That's pretty good at the beginning.
My dollhouse.
Like, my dollhouse can totally beat up your dollhouse.
Your dollhouse is a piece of shit. My dollhouse is an actual
6
replica.
foot deep. It's like that My Dick song.
Yeah, my dollhouse. I'm not. Never mind. I don't want to even get to this.
I don't want to start quoting the My Dick song. Great song, though. Check it out. But
fantastic song. Simon Rex. Check him out.
But Zak has a few more things to add about the dollhouse before we get into our main feature.
And while we don't know who owned the dollhouse before me, the psychic believes that sometime in the past, the demonic forces contained within it ripped a young family apart. And while we will never know what fully happened to these people, I can't stop wondering what it would have done to them. These questions served as the inspiration for the story you are about to watch.
Yes, and that's all you need to know. There's an evil dollhouse, and we'll never know what horrors they faced, but it is fun to speculate, especially by doing a cinematic retelling of the events seen through the lens of horror master Eli Roth, because this is a horror anthology show, much like Tales from the Crypt, or what else? Twilight Zone, the Friday the 13th, the series. This is a horror anthology series that just focuses on these items.
I did kind of feel like they pulled a quick one on me the first time I tried to watch this. When you announced that we were going to be doing this show for this episode, I went and I pulled it up on my Amazon Prime, and I was like, oh, I tried to watch this episode. I tried to watch this show.
Oh, like in the past?
In the past, yeah. When it first came out, I tried to, and I could see I got like 15 minutes in, and as soon as Zak's part was done, I was like, I'm out of here.
Where's
I'm
Zak?
gone. Because honestly, it felt like false advertising. I tuned in for a Zak Bagans production, and what they ended up giving me was a reenactment show of things that have never happened. So I guess it's just an enactment show. I don't know what to even call this.
It's called a movie. Like it's called just shut up and watch this cool thing.
Yeah, it is.
Not you shut up, but like,
how dare you? First off, how dare you tell me to shut up?
Zak said that. Zak and Eli Roth are saying that, not Drea.
Yeah, exactly. No, I had the opposite kind of reaction actually, because
you were happy.
It's funny to me that you
were happy that you were like, get him out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And I was watching it, and I was legitimately entertained. I forgot what I was watching.
Yeah,
I forgot Zak had anything to do with it.
The production quality is surprisingly good. I guess Eli Roth definitely, you could tell
he's a good director.
Zak was like, listen, I have guys. I got like a director of photography. I've got like I've got people. And Eli was like, we're good, Zak.
You just
we're
sit
good.
down,
I got my guys.
You show us the items. These are going to pump up these items for you. But let's get into this one. It's time for story time of this first episode. The episode is called Dollhouse of the Damned. And here we go. So in this, a dad returns home to his teenage daughter who is holding a baby, which I first assumed was hers, and that this was some...
Me too.
I thought this was some young...
And I thought that he was the father.
Yeah,
of that
no, I
baby.
thought it was
like,
some young grandpa situation. It was not. We find out it's the teen girl's birthday, and the dad gave her a framed picture of her with dad and a pregnant mom, which... So now we assume that this guy's wife is dead, and that this is the sister taking care of the baby. And so she gets gets this picture as a present, which upsets the girl because mom must be dead, and she is raising her baby brother now, and is being reminded of it on her birthday. But forget that though.
Yeah, it was sad.
Did either of you guys get slight young Anna Paquin vibes from her, like X-Men? Anna Paquin vibes. I don't know. I feel like
a little bit. Is that Rogue? She played Rogue?
Yeah, Rogue. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Yeah, I did a little bit too. And but forget about all that because this is just an exposition gift. So we know the situation here. The real gift is a very gothic-looking antique dollhouse, or
my dollhouse.
His dollhouse, which is a bad present to give a 16 or 17-year-old, and but she doesn't care at all about it.
It was gorgeous. Yeah, I would have loved it.
Do you think they used the actual dollhouse in the short film, whatever you want to call it?
I mean, I would save some money on the budget, even if it's haunted or not. You know, it's like, do we really have to get a second one?
Putting this baby next to this haunted dollhouse for hours on end to film these scenes feels like it's probably not the safest,
like inviting trouble.
Yeah, and
like the way The Exorcist, like bad shit happened on the set.
And what they do to it in this, and what they do to this episode, you're probably right. It's probably not the actual one. The dollhouse is very cool, and what happens? What happens next in this dollhouse is they're looking around inside the dollhouse, and they find a little doll of a guy hanged behind the stairs.
That was creepy, dude.
So you see,
I was legit creeped by this thing.
You see little murdered dolls inside this house.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fucking murdered that dude in there. Or it was Woody.
What made you say that?
Because it's like Toy Story.
Toys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, G.I. Joe's went on a mission.
The G.I. Joe's fucked him up, yeah.
And it gets creepier. The dad hears screams and he thinks it's a daughter. It's not. The screams are coming from inside the dollhouse. It's very scary. And as this show kind of builds, the dad starts getting this weird connection to the dollhouse. He starts putting action figures of him and the dead wife and the daughter inside of the dollhouse. He's getting very involved in creating his own life in there.
That's some voodoo shit, man. He's messing up.
But he still keeps it in the daughter's room because, I mean, it's her gift and all, so it stays in her room. And at some point, the daughter is done with having this big, giant, creepy dollhouse in her room.
This reminds me, Russ, of you buying PlayStation for your kids so that you could play them constantly, being like, listen, this is your Merry Christmas. And then you're like, I got to play it for like a couple hours, though. Hey, I'm sorry.
Like one of my kids might have got
I'm just testing it out. I got to make sure it's working good.
I got to test the controllers for you guys.
One of my kids definitely got an ad for Christmas and was kind of looked at it like, what even is this thing? I'm like, what are you kidding? This is the coolest thing ever. Let's play with it. But so she's kind of done with having the dollhouse in her room, and this happens in this dramatic recreation.
Oh, wakey, wakey. Good afternoon, sunshine.
Hey, Dad, do you think we could move the dollhouse, like, somewhere else?
Why?
I love it. It's just, I think it takes up way too much space.
You don't like it. You're too old to be playing with dolls. I'm such an idiot. Where do we move it to?
Anywhere else.
I'm such an idiot.
It is.
I'm the worst father ever. Oh my God.
And she didn't say, no, you're not. She was just like, silent. She's like,
Yeah, get it out of here, Dad.
She's trying to be nice about it. Like, look, Dad, I know I'm 16 a little much. And at this point.
Trust me, I love it. It's just giving me the most horrific fucking nightmares ever to man.
Or maybe it's just her dad sitting Indian style on her floor constantly playing with the doll house.
Yeah, and making dolls
like in the middle of the night.
Like, look.
Oh, right. I think we do need to explain a little bit that detail. He had said that he needed a hobby, so he's, focusing on making accessories and the little figurines for it. So, yeah, that would be a lot creepier if he was just sitting there just playing.
Yeah, no, which he does. I think a lot of times in the short film, they show him just playing with the dollhouse.
They do.
But that's normal.
That, you're right,
it is normal to like do a fixer-upper on a dollhouse for a kid. Like that's a project.
Totally. I mean,
that's a normal project
flip the dollhouse.
for a parent to do if you have like a 5-year-old.
Right,
right.
They renovate the fucking dollhouse and then sell it to another family.
Yeah, he has no plans on flipping this thing. Dad loves it. Unfortunately, but I do have a clip of it here.
You're too old to be playing with dolls. I'm such an idiot.
But I like it. And I want to reiterate again, the show is actually very well done, at least this first episode. It's filmed beautifully.
I think so.
There was a lot of one-point perspective. The filmmaking of it is, but as you see the acting, maybe
cinematography.
Really well done.
Definitely is there's quality. It's quality work. Is it
the composition
well written? Is it well written? Not the most amazing.
Maybe it's just the subject matter. You got to pick items from Zak Bagans' menagerie to cover. But so then comes, after this moment where the dad's like, all right, my daughter's not really into this. Then comes the turn where we see the dad is now making figures of himself and the dead wife. He starts putting them in the dollhouse. He's also ducking work by using the
very Hereditary. By the way, this is all very. If you've ever seen the film Hereditary, you kind of understand what this looks like.
He starts to spiral a little bit. He starts ducking work. He starts using the sympathy card and the baby, going so far as to fake cry to buy himself a sweet 2 weeks off to focus on playing with his dollhouse. He actually fake cries to his boss, like, I kind of miss my wife. And then as soon as he gets off, he's got a big grin. He's like, all right, back to the dollhouse. I can go play with this thing.
This is literally what Zak did when he got this thing. This is basically Zak's story of what happened after he found.
Who is he calling to bunk off of work? He's his own boss, right?
Travel Channel boss. Travel Channel boss is going, Zak called me once saying he was real upset. Travel boss. Yeah. But it gets better, though, with a scene where we jump forward a week later and we see the dad excitingly calling his daughter to the dollhouse, where he says some ancient chant and he lights a candle. It's all getting very dark. And we see that when he lights this candle, a light also lights up in the dollhouse. And so there's some kind of, now the paranormal element's coming in, the dollhouse is a bit alive. And then he does something with a glass of water and he's able to see his dead wife. And this is like a really cool scene. So bravo, Eli Roth. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this where he was able to see.
It was kind of cool.
It was.
When the water sucked in, that effect that they did in the glass
the funnel
of water.
Kind of like a whirlpool.
Cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably a pretty easy special effect to actually achieve. But shit, we were all amazed by it. So
it's so easy that you know exactly how they did it.
Yeah.
It
was cool. Yeah,
it was something you haven't seen. We've seen a lot of Conjuring kind of Ouija stuff, but never like a glass of water. And the water would fill in the dollhouse too. There's this whole thing going on.
Yeah, you know what I really appreciate about his style of horror, I guess, is that it's not so it's not so cliche. It's not so overdone. It was these little subtle things, and I like when things are not just overt and overkill. So
I like the water. Good. I like the water thing because it reminded me of this bong that I had when I was in college.
It was a bit of a
bong
situation.
It did like a tornado thing on the inside of it. It was really cool.
Cyclone.
Well, yeah. I mean, you smoked really satanic weed though, and so that makes perfect sense to me.
Oh yeah. I love satanic weed.
Well, after this though, if you didn't think this was weird, shit gets really weird after this. The daughter wakes up and she sees a demon in the bed, and then the dollhouse version of the dad. She goes to the dollhouse, sees the doll's version of the dad has killed the baby, but thankfully the baby is alive.
No!
Yeah. So the daughter goes to the thing and sees, the dad doll killing the baby inside the dollhouse. The baby is alive, not for long though. Because the ending, the ending comes quick and the ending comes quick and fast in this. You see that there's a demon in the dollhouse, and then in real life, this demon grabs her, and then it cuts to, you see her doll inside the dollhouse is nailed to the ground.
Wait, I'm sorry.
And I'm reaching over and I'm touching the baby.
Sorry, Russ.
Oh my God, that was perfect. Well done.
It is though. So the demon is touching the baby in the dollhouse, and then you go and you see the dad inside the dollhouse is killing everyone, and that's kind of how it closes out. This thing ends so fast, where whatever happens inside the dollhouse also happens in real life, and you're supposed to believe that a demon shows up out of nowhere, makes the dad kill everyone, and that's it. Then you cut to an old flea market in a barn where the dollhouse is being brought in, presumably for Zak Bagans to find. And then some kid looks in there, and the figures are sitting around a pentagram. So all the figures of the daughter, the dad, the baby, the demon.
Fuck yeah.
They're sitting around a pentagram. It looks so wicked. And I got to wonder, what happened to those? I don't think Zak has them. Maybe those are his grail figures that he's looking to find. But that's it. The end. The end of the Dollhouse horror episode.
So, man, I love it.
Or do they? I mean, it's like, question mark, to be continued? Yeah.
Yeah. I like to think that all of these dumb Haunted Museum short stories all exist in the same weird Eli Roth centered universe.
Yeah, and, I think they do.
Yeah, the museum verse.
I think it's kind of brilliant. It's a very, very good marketing tactic.
It is.
That's what I mean. Like, I've got to hand it to him. Like, it's very, very, very smart marketing.
I wouldn't really care too much about this big dollhouse, but after watching this, I'm like, I bet you it's sitting in the museum.
I want to go see it.
Yeah, with those little figures in there, and it just builds up the legend of these items. And he has all.
Guess what? I'm sold.
You're too old to be playing with dolls. I'm such an idiot.
Bring your big boy pants and your credit card.
Russ is ready. He's into it. You guys are both into it. You guys are loving this shit. I love it.
So into it.
And another thing I'm into now, I gotta check if you guys even caught this. So something else this show does is tag on a little interview bit after every episode. I guess, I don't know, to fill out the hour of the show. So I want to ask you.
I didn't see that.
Okay. Now, if you watch this on streaming services, when the episode ends, it skips to the next episode. But if you pay attention, there's like 6 or 7 minutes left in the show. It's not credits. They tack on different things at the end of each episode. And the first one is very random. It's Zak talking to a lady who claims to be the victim of Peggy the doll. And if you watch on that, like I said, you wouldn't have actually caught this. And you actually have to go back and force it to let you watch these little clips at the end of episodes. They're long. It's maddening, but it makes this.
Usually it's the other way around, where they're forcing us to watch the clips. But
yeah, I wish I had known about that, because mine immediately put me onto that. What's that Eliza Dushku show?
Elijah Dushku. Haven't heard that name in
Alicia. I don't know.
Alicia Dushku. I don't know.
It's I don't know what the fuck show it was. I don't know. I didn't know what the fuck. I thought it was going to be the next episode of this
Haunted Museum.
I was very confused. Yeah.
But yeah, these are little bits caught on, and like I said, this one's about Patty the doll, and it's
Patty or Peggy.
I'm sorry, Peggy the doll. I'm getting confused because it features Patty Negri from Ghost Adventures. And it wasn't even very interesting. It kind of just goes on for a few minutes. But
wasn't interesting.
It had nothing to do with. I'm already care about the dollhouse. I don't care about Peggy or Patty or any of these people. So I didn't even clip any of that.
I was like, why are we talking about it? Shit.
Well, I just want to set it up that this is how the show ends. And there were a lot of these episodes I wanted to cover, but I kind of had to be choosy. The descriptions alone of some of these are so tempting. Like episode 4 was called Helter Skelter Station. And here's the description. After receiving a cursed television from Charles Manson, a criminology student slowly loses his grip on reality. Can he resist the dark pull of the TV? Or will he succumb and become the latest family member to kill in the infamous cult leader's name? Whoa, boy.
Wow. Can any of us really avoid, or what was it, like resist the allure of TV?
Especially Charles Manson's TV. I didn't know Charles Manson's TV was in the Haunted Mansion. Evidently is. There was another one that was episode 1 of season 2. It was called The Cursed Brothel Bed. And the description is... In desperate need of money to pay for her son's medical treatment, a single mother becomes a sex worker at a legal brothel. when a murderous ghost begins stabbing her, she must unravel the mystery before she becomes the entity's... I'm stalking her, not stabbing her.
Don't stab her. Don't stab her.
Stalking her.
Who is stabbing
every night
me?
this ghost stabs me. I don't know what to do.
Somebody's stabbing me right now.
The ghost is just stalking her. Maybe it stabs her. I haven't watched it. But she says she must unravel the mystery before she becomes the entity's next victim. But I settled on one that really spoke to me, though. Something I railed about in our first episode of Haunted Museum Live way back when, the cursed item known as Ed Gein's cauldron. Have you seen this? You've heard about this?
Oh, I remember hearing about it, Jay.
Yeah, I've heard about this, and Zach has definitely gotten his money's worth out of this fucking cauldron, because he did an episode of Deadly Possessions about this thing, too. So he's really...
This is kind of like a revamped version. I guess,
he just keeps recycling shit from the museum.
Yeah.
You guys probably remember, if you guys can, it's been a while, but if you go back, we've covered Deadly Possessions before. That's where we got our buddy...
Deadly Possession. I guess we have covered this. I know we talked about the cauldron on the Haunted Museum Live. I know I was like, who cares? This Ed Gein's cauldron, I don't know.
Who is Zach? Oh my God, it's been so long. Who is Zach's butler? Who is Zach's butler again? Theodore.
Ah.
Oh, that
oh
guy.
My God.
Yeah,
it took me forever.
Yeah, that was from the first.
Theodore, don't.
That was Robert the Doll.
Yeah, but that's Deadly Possessions there. So I just think it's very funny to me that Zach has managed to fit this thing into 2 different TV shows that he's produced.
And 3 now. This one. So we're going to talk about this episode. It is season 2, episode 2, The Devil's Cauldron. And I'll get into the story here. So this is the description. When a nurse touches a cauldron once used by infamous murderer Ed Gein, she becomes infected by the evil attached to it and descends into a nightmare, traversing time and space. I play it again. Guess what? I'm sold. As soon as I saw this, I said, this is the other one I want to talk about. So let's get into this one, where Zach opens the show with a question that I'll ask you guys to answer once it's done.
During my investigations into American serial killers, I've been forced to confront some of the most disturbing crimes of the last century. But when it comes to sheer horror, few can match the terrifying actions of Ed Gein, the Plainfield Butcher. His crimes provided the inspiration for films like...
Okay, Drea, what will Zach say next? Inspired such films as...
The Breakfast Club.
All right, Rob, what do you say?
The Shining. No. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Sophie's Choice.
Silence of the Lambs. What are some other good ones?
Oh, Silence of the Lambs probably a good one. No, wait, no.
Yeah.
All right, what films could these be? Here is the answer.
Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and one of my favorites, Silence of the Lambs. And it's easy to see why. What investigators found in his Wisconsin home in 1957 continues to shock us almost 60 years later. Now, inside Gein's house of horrors, the police found it was filled with body parts. Some taken from victims he had killed himself, but others dug up from graveyards. Now, Gein was using his gruesome collection to make masks, corsets, and leggings, all part of a horrifying skin suit that he wanted to make and then wear. And investigators also came upon a large cauldron that played a very dark role in Gein's plan. The madman's last victim was strung up over it, field dressed like a deer, draining blood into the heavy metal pot below.
Yes, that iconic cauldron of Ed Gein's that we were always talking about. And I gotta say, if you have any knowledge at all about the Ed Gein case, the first thing you probably heard was that he was the inspiration for Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. Of course, that's one of Zach's favorites. Inspiration, because the actual Ed Gein story is nothing like any of those movies.
Hey.
I know, that's why I'm surprised that Rob nailed it, though, like 2 out of 3, right?
Well, you know what it is? It's more of a concept thing. It's not really...
Oh, just serial killer kind of thing in general?
No. More of like a man who's obsessed with wearing the skin of other people.
Right. He didn't have a chainsaw. He wasn't Leatherface. He didn't have his mom buried anywhere, even though it did kind of inspire Psycho. I don't know. I feel like saying I don't know. If you want to impress people, Zach, man, get that skin suit or one of those skin lamps or something like that. No one cares.
I think that's a biohazard, dude.
No one cares about this stupid cauldron. No one ever has. Or do they?
What do you mean nobody cares about it? We're talking about it now, so we must care a little. We care a lot.
Until Silence of the Lambs, no one really had talked about wearing the skin a skin suit. That wasn't even like something that I think anybody thought could be done before Ed Gein did what he did.
Yeah, but he wasn't Buffalo Billing it. He didn't like take, he was digging up graves, but he was.
He made a lamp out of it.
He made lamps. He made a lot of stuff. He was making a skin suit though, and corsets. That's the part. Like that's a very kind of obscure.
That doesn't seem to make sense because corsets need to be stiff to keep stuff in.
He had a gut maybe. He's like, well, I can, because he wanted to make a lady suit basically. He wanted
you got to get that hourglass. You got to get that hourglass figure. We all,
you need boning in there.
You got to do what you got to do. Sometimes, the corset seems like it's a painful thing, but as they say in fashion, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, right. This was the 50s.
You got to fight through it.
He wanted that Betty Page look. He wanted to look very sultry in this.
How bad do you want to be fabulous?
Ooh, Ed Gein, the ultimate.
He wanted it bad.
He wanted the fat bad.
Really bad.
Ooh, so bad.
Really bad.
I'm saying, who cares about this cauldron? Zach is going to make us care about the cauldron, or else what is the point? What is the point of making a cinematic horror show about it? So let's hear about the myth and folklore of the Ed Gein cauldron.
Now, that cauldron was sold at auction in 1958 to an antiques dealer, and the cauldron ended up in the back of a garage where it remained until its owner passed away several years ago. Now, immediately after the cauldron was found, those who were standing closest to it became severely ill. And in fact, the people there on the day it was discovered, 5 of them died unexpectedly within the next 18 months. Desperate to get rid of it, the survivors sold it at an auction in 2016 to me. When I agreed to house it in my museum, they left me with a very chilling warning. Quote, I think you are knocking on the devil's door. Don't be surprised if he answers. Now, in hopes of discovering who is attached to the cauldron, I asked my good friend, a witch from England, Lady Snake, to attempt to make contact. Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
Wait, what?
Oh, shit.
Rest in peace, Lady Snake. Oh, no.
Why is she resting? She needs to wake up. She needs to come back and talk dumb again.
Okay, anytime something comes up, I got this, though. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
Man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do knowing the Lady Snake is gone.
Somehow we're going to have to trudge on.
I think it sounds like you're going to laugh. Is what you're going to do.
I can't believe it. I'm crying.
Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
Sounds like laughter, but it's crying.
They are so similar.
Oh my God. What are we going to do?
I have to say one thing really quick. Yeah. I was kind of amazed when you said the thing about the proximity and people getting really nauseous and just sick to their stomach, because I don't normally have that kind of visceral reaction to this kind of thing. But when you were describing, or when we were hearing about it or something, I started feeling sick. I literally was just it was making me queasy.
No. The cauldron is getting to you, Drea. The cauldron has got to you.
Over the fucking sound waves, dude.
Fuck.
And we got no Lady Snake because...
Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
To protect us at all. But all right, maybe I'll talk you off the ledge here, because what are the odds that this cauldron is a real deal? At all. There's a lot of phony bullshit around Ed Gein. It's like those wood chips from Ed Gein's barn. They used to sell them in the back of comic book magazines.
Wow.
Buy chips of Ed Gein.
It's so easy to just be from fucking Home Depot.
Yeah,
Russ, come on. You don't trust Zak Bagans?
I never said that. But
you don't trust the Zackster?
You don't trust Zak Bagans? Dude, what? Come on.
Not in this at all, no. There's a lot of BS around
so
Ed
well.
Gein.
We've known him for 20 years, dude. We
know him. We love him.
About
he knows
anything.
us.
It's the ashes from Dracula's castle or whatever. It's all these easy things, but this is a bigger one. But we're keeping...
What do you wait, hold on. That cauldron sat in someone's garage for 30 years or something, they said.
And 5 people died in an 18-month period.
Spores. That's what made people sick.
It drives me crazy when people have these haunted objects and they're like, I wanted to get rid of it, but I didn't know what to do with it. Bring it to the dump. Put it in a dumpster.
Throw it off. Dude, it's not hard. Get it the hell off your
bridge. What? It's not that hard.
It's not hard.
It's not that hard.
Drive into the desert. Chuck it at a coyote.
You find an overpass.
These people lack creativity.
Overpass with a river. Throw it into the river. It's
the whole genre though of murderabilia, and I guess so this somehow fits in that. Somehow Zach got his hands on it, and keeping Lady Snake in our thoughts and prayers. Let's get down to the meat of this cauldron intro. And I promise,
don't say meat.
I promise this audio is not sped up on my end. This is just how the show is.
Rest in peace, Lady Snake. Now, her terrifying encounter with this entity left no doubt in my mind that something truly evil lurks within this artifact. And following this event, I began to wonder if the entity was in fact the spirit of Ed Gein himself, and that perhaps his dark work in this world was far from over. These thoughts inspired the film you are about to watch.
So yes, this episode is inspired by a true thought of Zak Bagans. Inspired by a thought. That's a new way to describe storytelling.
It's a new way to describe, like literally anything.
I thought it. Now you see it. Now you were psychic.
This sentence right now has been inspired by a thought that I'm having as I'm speaking.
These thoughts inspired the film you are about to watch.
That's the only way to set this up, because any other way, it just makes it sound like some
It's
dumb
so
bullshit.
fucking vague. I love it.
Yeah. Honestly, this show is an interesting enigma because it's like, it's sort of like a vehicle for Eli Roth to give these like younger directors sort of like an opportunity to get their work out there for people to see it. That's why it's like this anthology series where every single episode is directed by a different young director.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought he directed them.
He kind of, he's
it's cool in that sense.
Yeah,
that's good.
He produces it, and you could tell like the production quality is high because he's bringing his people into the show. Like the lighting is very well done. The special effects are decent enough. The cameras are pretty good. Like everything that you need to like make a good short film is there. But then Zach is like, but hold on a second.
Because you got to remember that
these thoughts inspired the film you are about to watch.
And for this thought-inspired story of Ed Gein's Cauldron, and I will say, for those unfamiliar with Ed Gein attracted the attention of the police in 1957 when a hardware store owner named Bernice Warden went missing. Gein had been seen with her shortly before her disappearance, and when law enforcement officials visited his farm, they found her body. She had been fatally shot and decapitated. Subsequent examinations of his home showed that he had systematically robbed graves and collected body parts, which he used to make household items, clothing, and masks. They also discovered on the property was the head of Mary Hogan, a tavern operator who had disappeared in 1954. And in 1958, Gein's House of Horrors was destroyed by fire, the origins of which remain unclear. Gein was declared mentally unfit to stand trial and was sent to a state hospital in Wisconsin. He died in 1984, which is before a lot of our times, but actually Ed Gein lived a very long time, longer than I had thought.
Gone too soon.
He died of like happiness
Rest
in
in
old
power,
age.
King.
Yeah. Wait, hold on, wait.
Rest in peace.
Ed Gein. Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Well, it is like the most evil people that live the longest, they say. So that makes sense.
Yeah. See, it just goes to show karma's not real. So go do bad stuff, everybody.
He never had to work again. He had a pretty kind of comfortable living and stuff, thinking about his old cauldron.
You forgot to mention, he also loved to wear a flat bill train conductor hat all the time, apparently, which was like, he was a fashion icon in that sense. He was definitely a trendsetter and influencer when it came to the train conductor hat look.
Yeah, when I think when Zach described it, it's like a horrifying
50s.
Skin suit.
Yeah,
that was
for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Oh my God.
So we're going to find out, what did Zach think this cauldron was up to before reaching him? Well, we start out with the cops running out of the Gein barn in 1957, puking. This is in the cinematic thing we're watching.
I'm going to puke right now.
Short film.
Yes, of the short film. Then we hard cut to 2011, Grand Marsh, Wisconsin. It almost looks like a wholesome version of Storage Wars or American Pickers. It's just nice people, digging through a barn at a bunch of old crap. And one dude in there, he gets a nosebleed. And then the lady of the group spots this cauldron, which causes an immediate cinematic psychic event where she's having, she's seeing all these weird things. She goes home to her dog, Blue, and the dog has a freak out on her. She has gotten this cauldron, it is hers now. And in this show, though, as we're watching the acquirement of the cauldron, no one has said anything yet except this dog, Blue. But now we get a phone call to our heroine that provides some much-needed exposition.
How was yesterday? You feel closure and all that?
She was an old family friend. I was just helping to clean up with some of the neighbors and one of her nephews.
A nephew, huh? A cute single nephew?
Come on, Lucy.
Did you at least get to take away some
Lucy, he's 12.
Jewelry, diamonds?
No hidden treasures. Although there was this one thing that was kind of weird.
What? What is it, Jess?
It's nothing.
Hey, are you in tomorrow?
No, I have to pull a double in a merge this weekend, so I'm taking a couple days off.
Okay. Need to get back.
Bye, Luce.
Bye, babe.
Okay, bye. And that is how...
she called her Luce.
Yeah, you know how she got that nickname. You heard what she was talking about immediately.
Yeah, man.
You fucking that neighbor? No.
Insulting.
Give me a break. Jesus.
I want to know, Drea, is that how lady phone calls usually go, Drea? It's like a family friend dies.
What is it?
And
oh my God, what is it?
The friend Lucy, she's a literal gold digger and like a hornball. Because she's like, a family friend died. You get some diamonds, some gold. What'd you find in there? And at the same time, she's a hornball asking about this hot ass nephew.
She is a little horny.
Hornball.
I love describing anyone as a hornball.
She's a total hornball.
This is my first time hearing it, and I love it.
So we don't know much, but we know that the friend is named Lucy or Loose Lucy. And as far as we know, our heroine, her name is just Babe at this point. She just calls her Babe. So we hard cut.
Babe in the city.
We hard cut to Babe lying in bed at night, thinking that her dog is next to her. It is not. And she sees that the dog is in the doorway. She then wakes up in the morning to an unexplained burn or rash or something on her arm. It looks like one of those things you give your buddies when you're a kid, when you like twist their arm to make it red like that.
An
like,
Indian rubber? Oh, we're not supposed to call it that.
I don't. Is that what it's
you're
called?
Canceled.
Indian sunburn.
You're canceled.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was called.
I
It's just
think
a
that
fact.
she needs to get that checked out. It looks, honestly,
It looks precancerous.
honestly, I feel like
no, I didn't see
maybe she should like talk to the guy from across the street. Just make sure that he doesn't have anything. Like, let's get this
She's a
figured
nurse.
out.
She's a nurse and she doesn't know what it is. So we caught that earlier that she's supposed to be a nurse, this Babe. That's all we know now.
Nurses aren't doctors. I don't know.
That is true. It didn't look good. And oh man.
So it moves on to Babe. Her arm's a little messed up, but she heads down and she can't find the dog Blue. She notices that the door's open. So she goes outside into the woods to find the pooch. And then in the distance, we see Ed Gein. Yes, Ed Gein. We kind of recognize him. He's got that classic flat bill hat. The butcher of Playsville himself is in her backyard.
He's hiding behind a tree.
And then he starts running at her very fast, like he is Terminator 2. Like he is coming at her so fast. And this leads to another info
He got
dump.
legs. He
This
got
leads
wheels
to
on him.
another info dump phone call with her bestie Lucy.
He chased you?
Yeah, but not all the way. Eventually, I turned around and he was gone. I ran so fast, Luce.
Did he say anything?
No, nothing.
Wasn't Blue there to protect you?
No. I was actually out there looking for him.
What? Where is he?
I don't know. I woke up this morning and he was gone, and the back door was open.
He left the back door open?
No, that's the thing. I don't think I left it open. I thought I locked it last night, but I guess I'm wrong.
Okay, well, if you want me to help you look for him, just let me know. Ouch, when did you get that?
I woke up with it. It hurts.
Wait, let me see it again. Poison ivy? Maybe from your walk in the woods.
I wasn't in the woods yesterday. Luce, I keep seeing this.
What? What is it?
He's here.
Who?
I have to call you back.
Wait. Who? Jesse?
Yes, Jesse. Okay, we have a name. But Jesse, look out. Now, I know Ed Gein inspired every horror movie ever, but now I think the movies are inspiring him because he has the classic Ed Gein outdoorsman garb, but his face is all Freddy Krueger in this, which I did not expect.
He's wearing a mask.
Yeah,
he's wearing a skin mask.
But the way they pull it off, you don't really think that. It looks like a Freddy Krueger, outdoorsman Freddy Krueger.
He's just being creative. I mean,
he does kind of have like that inside out face look, which like from a distance, it's unsettling and just creepy.
Yeah, he looks like the banjo kid from Deliverance or whatever. Like he has a weird, like almost blank, like very scary.
You know what? Honestly, the production value of the skin mask and what they made him look like, they did give him the stupid hat.
Yes.
Of course. So it's like he's wearing the skin suit, but he's like he's not disguising himself. It's clearly you're Ed Gein. You're wearing Ed's hat.
Look, he's working on making the skin hat.
He's like I just like the way that it feels on my face more than anything. It's not even really about disguising myself. I just kind
it's
of
full
like
of collagen and retinol.
I just like the vibe is really what it's about.
Well, she's freaked out. She's lost her dog, and now she's got this creepy Ed Gein monster out there. So she calls the cops, and she talks to a cop who basically tells her he can't do anything except look for the dog, maybe. So she goes to Bestie Lucy and shows her this burn thing in her arm and tells her that ever since that picking session, American Pickers session, she's seeing blood and being drawn to a shed. And there's another new tidbit. She keeps thinking the word to Archer. And after a very quick Google, they find an address for 2nd and Archer in Plainville, which immediately leads them to articles about Ed Gein. And when you know it, the cauldron is in the pictures of Ed Gein's arrest. Wow. So Jesse is now freaked out by this, but the bestie, she's not realizing the horror of the situation, so she just leaves for work. She's like, all right, well, you figure it out.
You're like, I think you're good. You'll get this. You're fine.
So we cut to later that night where our heroine, Jessie, is awakened by a phone call, which is very unsettling because if you are an Ed Gein fanboy, you can probably figure out exactly what this is.
Hello? Hello?
Yes? Yes, can I help you?
Who is this?
You called me, honey. Now, you looking for anything? You have a question? Hold on, I have a customer. Evening, sir. If you need help, just let me... I don't know what you mean by that, sir.
Miss? Miss? Hello?
So yeah, that would be a depiction of the murder of Bernice Worden in her hardware store in 1957. A bit of serial killer fan service, but creepy nonetheless. And that old-timey jazz music, that was a nice touch, right, Rob?
Yeah, I feel like I was playing Fallout for a second. What is going on, though? So the idea here is that she got a ghost phone call from the woman who, the final woman that led to Ed Gein being caught. She's for some reason now she's been injected into that story.
Right. She's getting
retroactively somehow.
Yeah, so now just owning this cauldron is enough to be injected into his story. He's stalking her. She's calling into the place of the woman he murdered. And right after this, the director's knack for horror kicks in a very weird and spooky sequence where our heroine sees this fucked up looking Ed Gein in her room. She runs away from him. Then she looks outside and she sees a woman being dragged into the shed. And then miraculously, somehow, she is then planted into an old hardware store where that old-timey jazz music is playing. And she sees the phone off the hook. And we hear the phone call from earlier. She is in the murder scene of Bernice, hearing herself on the phone. It's getting, pretty very time and space warped in this. So after she's able to snap out of it, she knows what needs to be done. She gets in her car. She heads to that address leading to the old Gein place, which I thought was destroyed. They mentioned destroyed. While jazz music plays on every radio station in the car on the way. That's creepy, right? Not being able to escape.
Jazz music is the creepiest.
Jazz music on every station sounds like a nightmare.
I didn't know Ed Gein was so associated with old-timey creepy jazz music. But when she arrives, we get one final phone call with her bestie Lucy before she running into the shed and seeing that lady Bernice body strung up. And of course, the Ed Gein monster guy is there. And then it becomes almost like Stranger Things, the way this thing
her name is Bernice?
Bernice Worden is the woman who was killed in the 50s.
Silence of the Lambs. Wasn't her name Clarice? Is there any connection there? Hello,
Clarice, Bernice. For sure. Definitely. That was a reference.
Bernice Sanders.
Connecting the dots.
So as she's watching, she's evidently in Ed Gein's old barn watching this woman get killed. And it starts becoming like Stranger Things, where this weird portal of black worm things open up behind her.
Venom.
It's like Venom. She's got her back to the barn door, but like a venom vortex is opening up, and it starts to completely engulf her, and then she disappears. The last thing she sees is monster Ed Gein, and then we cut to Lucy finally showing up and finding Jesse's body laying in an empty field, dead. Wow, what a wild and cinematic.
Her body was dead?
Her body was dead.
Where I think, wasn't that where Ed Gein's house had been? That's what I thought they were implying.
It was. So in her mind, she showed up and it was there and she's watching the murder. In reality, she is there, but she is dead. She is certainly dead. And this was a very wild and cinematic thought that Zak Bagans presented here. He thought a lot about this cauldron because he had to come up with all of this. So this is, remember.
These thoughts inspired the film you are about to watch.
So when he got this cauldron, he's like, what if there was like a lady who lost her dog and it was worms and she was sucked?
It's so much nothing to do with a freaking cauldron. Like the cauldron is just, it could be anything right? It's just like a placeholder. What's like a conduit or something?
Yeah, it's just wanting to tell an Ed Gein story, and I
the
got an item.
MacGuffin of the story. Basically, I think that's what Drea's referencing is the MacGuffin of the story, or
right.
What's a MacGuffin?
But the thing you're always looking for, but there she's not even looking. She already has it. It's just the cauldron caused all this, and now she's dead. And but the fact that Zach had to think about, make this in his mind, he's thinking about a dog missing, and the lady's a
So many
nurse.
thoughts.
The lady's got no friends, so we didn't have to hire any other actors for this. Her friend's just on the phone. Like, there's not a lot of people in this.
Hey,
Poor thing.
You know what?
Poor thing.
I hope that her rash cleared up.
I think that he wouldn't have wanted fucking gross rashy skin. So
Right, that's true. He'd be like,
that's why she still has her skin. He's like, oh, I killed you for nothing.
It puts the lotion on the skin.
Now I'm just gonna kill you because I'm mad at you that you ruined your freaking skin for me.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming she must be one of the people that died in that 18-month period, even though everyone has iPhones and video phones in this, and she's showing her the burn over. Anyway, I'm getting too much into it. So that ends there. That's how this one ends. And so far, we have just seen Zach talking in this, but the post scene of this episode is a real treat, where we get a new segment called Director to Director with Eli Roth. So Eli Roth is finally showing up on camera in this thing that Amazon is trying to make us skip over. We're not skipping over it. Let's hear some clips of Director to Director with Eli Roth.
Hi, I'm Eli Roth. Welcome to Filmmaker to Filmmaker. I am back with the amazing Kat Hostick. Welcome, Kat.
Hello. Thank you, Eli.
Kat is overseas. You are in Paris, and I am in Toronto.
Yes.
Even though the sets look amazingly similar. How familiar were you with this story? One of the grisliest stories in American history.
Well, I did know that there was movies based on Ed Gein, like Psycho and Silence of the Lambs and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I knew that, and I was super excited. Psycho is the first movie that I saw. So I was like, oh, this kind of feels full circle.
Her very first movie?
Okay, Kat Hostick, yeah. Kat Hostick, she doesn't know about Ed Gein, but she knows he is the inspiration for Silence of the Lambs and Psycho. And yes, Drea, Psycho is the first movie she ever saw. That's some good parenting there. Whew. And great memory.
I'd say.
Rob, do you remember the first movie you ever saw?
The Land Before Time? I don't know. It was
The Land Before Memory.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, honestly. Or maybe Teddy Ruxpin. Possibly. I don't know if you call that a film.
More of a doll that talked, but okay, sure.
I feel like I've smoked away most of these memories. I can't remember.
Maybe. Drea, you have any memory of the first movie or movies? It's not like she was alive to see it in the theaters. I mean, she's kind of young.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking the first movie I ever remember watching was probably a VHS, right? Because
Psycho 2.
Too young for a theater. I would say it was probably Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that makes sense right there. So,
you know what the truth of the matter is, though? Her first movie, like this female director, her first movie she actually probably really watched was like the Olsen twins Go to Manhattan or something. But it sounds so much cooler if you say that your first movie.
You're not saying that to Eli Roth, man.
How old is this lady?
The modern
I know, but that's the
horror.
truth of it, honestly.
You're like an idiot saying you watched the Olsen twins to him. So you might as well just say.
My first movie I ever saw was Avatar.
Right. He's like, no. Yeah. I'm going in with Psycho because I'm all keyed in with this Ed Gein stuff. And so now we get a little more. They talk about her approach to directing this and how she was trying to add a Salvador Dali element to the story and make this whole episode very dreamlike, which it was very dreamlike because most of it is weird hallucinations and bullshit. Okay, fine. But
and like dimensional time slips.
Yeah, time slips, everything.
Pretty dreamy.
I want to know why Ed Gein looked like Freddy Krueger. Was that the thinking there, Kat Hostick and Eli Roth? Please tell me.
Talk about the Ed Gein character and kind of taking a supernatural approach to him and the tricks you did to give him that supernatural quality.
We had to create a face for this character. Our artist, Holly, they did such a fantastic job. When I first saw it, I was like, wow. And people on set were just like, even the actress, she's like, I can't even look at him. And people were really freaked out. Like multiple people on set were really freaked out by this mask that was created for him because the whole time he's wearing this mask. So the idea is it's the face of a woman, like he's skinned a woman and then it's on his face and you don't know if it's like a man or a woman. It's very ambiguous. It's just very bizarre.
And on a completely different subject, I know a lot of people will be watching this. Certainly young women will watch it that want to be directors. Is there any universal piece of advice you would give to someone that wants to be sitting in the director chair where you are now? How do they get from making films on their iPhone to actually getting to tell stories on a bigger canvas the way you are?
TV, the Harvey Weinstein approach. No, do whatever Eli or Zach want, and you'll be able to get your show made. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Casting couch.
Okay, but look, I want to say Ed Gein did like wearing lady faces in skins. It didn't come off like that in this to me. I know Rob kind of got that it was a mask. It just looked very Freddy Krueger-ish to me. I know I keep saying it, but that's just how it came off.
Yeah, well, I mean, Freddy Krueger was more of a burnt look. This, it just looked
raw,
unsettling. It looked raw and unsettling, and I could just tell like what they were going for. Like, I guess it would have just been less scary if it was just a man, you know, like just Ed Gein with his dumb conductor hat and like his overalls or whatever he wore.
He's a boring kind of villain.
This guy's not intimidating.
Like, can we stick some
it's way
dead
scary.
skin on this guy? Like make it maybe. Can we do the corset? They're like, no, we're not doing the corset, but we'll do something else. We'll do this, a crazy face. So back to her question though. What do you think the real answer is? It's not Weinstein related. So let's hear this final clip. How do you make it as a young girl director?
I think that most people just have fear of making their first thing because they don't know how. I think that you just need to, even if you do something with an iPhone or you do something with a DSLR, you just have to do it and like get it out of the way and find your voice and experiment. And I think you can just build on that. And the other thing I would say is I think connections and talking to people and asking questions is like absolutely everything. Like put yourself aside and just talk to people, learn, ask. I just kept doing at it and stopped making excuses and asked a lot of questions. And then one thing led to another. So it's the best advice I can give.
Solid advice, I think. I don't know, just get connections, ask, get out of your own way.
Over, like, you know, be connected to people who can get you places. Just do that.
Well, I think the most important thing she said was to just fucking make the thing. Like,
yes,
if you have like an idea, like rather than talk about it for like years and years and tell everybody about your idea, just work on it. And even if it sucks, just make it and then you'll get better at it. Mm-hmm. But if you never take the step to actually just make the thing, then you'll never be able to grow. So like, you got to take that first step and just create. Like if you're inspired to create. That's what I take away from what she just said. But yeah, the rest of it.
That is the biggest takeaway. And anything creative, you know, whatever you want to do, that big unknown part is the scariest thing to people. It's daunting, you know, because if you don't know what you're doing, you know, you don't know where to start. But yeah, just do it.
Yeah, like the
nobody has to know about it. You don't have to publish it. Nobody has to watch it.
Just do it. Yeah,
get it out of the way, and then.
And I have some soundboard clip of her. This will be advice for us. Just
and like get it out of the way and find your voice and experiment.
Experiment. You got to just make sure you're always experimenting. That's the best advice you can get. So that's going to take us out of Ed Gein land. You guys got any final thoughts on this one?
On this one, I'm still nauseous.
Yeah,
that's my thought.
That's
honestly.
I see that. And what about you, Rob? What did you think altogether of this show? Be it haunted cauldrons or haunted dollhouses and whatnot?
It's it's not the worst thing that Zak Bagans has produced. I'll say
he's
that.
Barely in it, which is great.
He's barely in it,
yeah,
honestly.
Which makes it the best thing he's produced.
My opinion, could use a little bit more, Zach. But I mean, honestly, I kind of enjoy it. Like, there's a level of enjoyment that you can get out of these things if you go into it with low expectations. So I definitely I appreciate it in that aspect. And you know, Ed Gein, he's not that bad of a guy. Come on. Like,
Rob, what the fuck?
He just really likes to wear the skin of dead women. It's like,
you know, when you put it that way, you are so right.
No, I'm joking.
He's just trying to express himself.
I mean, he inspired everything. He inspired Psycho and Silence of the Lambs and Jeepers Creepers. And
thank God he existed to inspire those films. If he never lived and killed all those women, we wouldn't have these amazing films to watch.
I'm pretty sure nobody else would ever be killing people and inspire this shit. You're right.
Evil Nate owes his entire career to Ed Gein. He should be thanking him every day. I'll stand on that here. And we need a poll for this also. This week's poll, I don't know. It's either going to be what is the scariest or what is the dumbest thing in the Haunted Museum. Drea, what do you think we should go with? The scariest?
Well, I mean, no, I don't think that should be the question at all because those were just two things.
Well, no, there's Charles Manson TV. We already know about Peggy the Doll and all the other stuff.
That's what I mean. We didn't talk about any of that, so it's not really an appropriate poll. I would just say, what would you make out of human skin?
Okay, that would be this week's poll. What would you make out of human skin? And the choices will be a lamp, a mask,
a fortune teller, a crane.
A corset. There will be a lot of options.
Oh, the hat.
Oh, a hat, like a flat bill human hat. That'd be great. Mm-hmm. So go to unbelieverspodcast.com and answer that poll thing. And we're going to get out of this with another great Zak Bagans fan-created song.
Right now, I'm getting the same female spirit that is following me, and she's talking with me. And I'm going to keep talking with her through this device right now. Following me. I said, why are you following me? Tell me, why are you following me? What? Holy shit.
Yeah. That is Immortal Portal. Again, a fan-made Zak Bagans song, but better than anything Nick Groff is putting out there. We love it.
Too good. It's too good because I thought it was Nick Groff for a second.
I love Bagans core, man. It's fucking badass, dude. This shit rips.
Fuck yeah. Immortal Portal. Go check that out. Go find it on YouTube.
Oh my God, that's great.
So this has been a lot of fun. It's been fun getting back in the Bagans verse. And this was great timing for us working on this.
Get back in the bag.
Because as I was watching this and clipping these episodes a couple of weeks ago, something crazy happened. A whistleblower came forward on Reddit. An ex-employee of Zak's Haunted Museum in Las Vegas did an AMA about their time working there. And it was pretty damning to Mr. Bagans, this AMA. I'm going to cover it maybe more in depth in a live stream on YouTube, but I'm going to open up this AMA and we'll talk a little bit about it. And here, I will go right now. It says, I worked with Zak Bagans in his museum. Ask me anything. I worked inside his museum. I don't want to give dates, but it has changed a little since my departure. I'm happy to answer any questions, honestly, about my time there, the job, or Zak himself. Ooh, spicy stuff. This is someone who's been in the museum, worked in the museum. The top-rated question was, does he smell like Axe body spray?
I think he smells like Zak's body spray.
Oh, there you go. But someone, but OP answered and it said, LMAO, kind of. It's the same douchey Axe-like spray, but it's noticeably a quote, I spent way too much money on this cologne. All right, we're getting good info.
Yeah. No, he seems more like a Lynx guy, or like, what are those other knockoff brands that aren't quite Axe? He seems like one of those.
I think he smells like mildew.
Wow, I feel there's vitriol and hate coming from Drea.
No, it's because of he's always looking around in old musty places for haunted shit.
Oh, so you think
I'm not that mean.
He just brings it around with him everywhere. He's like
it comes out of his pores. Yeah, remember when he did the Demon House? I just think he's been forever changed since then, and he's gonna smell like mildew forever.
Yeah, we don't know the dates of this. That the person worked there. They said that.
Wait, but when was this AMA?
Oh, like 2 weeks ago. This is very recent.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
it was briefly deleted for a little bit because I think they got to him after this. Because this maybe this person didn't sign an NDA. They definitely figured out who it was. Here's the second top question on here. Can you expand on the anxious tickets? Do you have a specific theory that circulated around that was unpleasant? Do you have any good stories about him? He kind of seems like a guy with an ego, but could also have a heart at times. Also, does he wear the fingerless gloves in the museum? Lol, that visual cracked me up. And OP replies, unfortunately, I don't have a single good story about him. I don't have any specifics. It's one of those things where you watch how he walks and interacts with things, the look in his eyes, etc. It's one of those, you got to see it to understand those kind of things. And then they also add the gloves. Yes, sometimes he dresses in black hoodies with a glove and a mask and hat. It's 100% obvious it's him, but he doesn't seem to think so. So I guess Zach thinks he's being sneaky.
He's like, undercover boss.
That's such a funny thing to like, imagine you go to the Haunted Museum and like, he's there, but he has a mask on, he's got sunglasses on, he's got a hat, he's wearing like a obviously black leather jacket or something along those lines. And like trying to act like he's not Zak Bagans, like to try him walking around there trying to like blend
I hope you're having
in.
a good time. Leave a review. I heard that the owner of this museum is actually pretty cool.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
I want to show up to the museum with this whole garb on, like that. Maybe
I was actually gonna say it would be really funny and kind of smart if he had like just multiple people all kind of cosplay Zach, so that people just think that he's around.
Oh my god!
If he's like 6 of them, just pacing around the place,
like he's the president. Like he's got like fake Zak Bagans,
right.
other doubles of Zak Bagans.
Zach
like Padme Amidala or some shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's another question here. Yeah, I was about to say, well, maybe if he wore a skin mask, people wouldn't recognize him. Anyway, here's another question here.
We know where to get one of those.
Here's a question from Important Farmer 924. Is the museum the reason why he won't fly? And they reply, his mother is the reason he won't fly. Zach is a huge mama's boy. He had a dream he died in a plane crash one night, and his mom forbid him from flying ever again. Zach is also the type who will take any ridiculous dream he has and try to force meaning on it. Quote, I had a dream I moved this from here to here. Now we have to do it. So,
oh God,
I guess that's the thing with Zach, and they kind of expound a little bit on the fact that Zach won't fly anymore.
Oh my God, I really hope that he has dreams where he pees his pants.
How did he get to England? Does he take a boat anytime he goes overseas? Like, how does Zach get around without flying?
Those were older episodes of GA. Maybe this was before he had this apocryphal dream that his mama told him, do not fly again.
You know what? I can't make fun of him for that because I have that pact with my mom, like with the Ouija board.
Yep.
She made me promise when I was a kid to never touch one or never fuck with one.
If anybody that would have like a death prophecy that might be real, it would be like Zak Bagans at this point. Like,
yeah, you'd have to test it out though, right? You just
I
have
feel
to
like
be curious.
Regardless of how much the swimming pool of bullshit that he swims in, there's definitely still some things floating around in that swimming pool that could probably hurt you if you come into contact with them. Haunted things, demonic things. Regardless of how fake people want to say Zach is and his stuff, he still puts himself in these locations that are, charged up with negative energy or that have these these time loops of energy happening in them. And he's like putting himself, charging his physical body in these places with that energy. So maybe there is some sort of darkness that could possibly.
Question for you, Rob. Do you think that maybe that's why he's such a douche? Like maybe he was kind of like nice to begin with, but then he went to like negative places and now he's like physically changed forever.
If you watch the first season of Ghost Adventures, you'll see that Zach has always been like this. He has never changed. He was like this before he was famous. He always acted
but what
like
if he went to a haunted place before the show? We don't know.
I think he part of why Zach got into doing this, from what I've seen him talk about on shows and stuff, is that he
came
was
face
drawn
to face with a ghost.
He was drawn to the paranormal because he had a ghostly experience. So I don't know. I think
now, like
I
Pokemon,
tolerate.
he must collect every piece of murder paranormal memorabilia and put it all in here.
Gotta Zach
and
them
have
all.
people walk
He's
around.
got the money for it. If you got the money for it,
he's saving money on plane tickets at this point. So yeah, you're right.
That's true, man. Yeah, I'm shit, dude. Like, look at the list.
Saving money, wasting time.
If only John Denver had listened to his mother. If only all the other celebrities who died in plane crashes
Not my Richie.
If they had this sort of an advantage to have their mother tell them, you're going to die in a plane crash, don't go on that plane, then it could have, things could be very different.
His mom had the dream? I thought he had the dream.
He had it, but his mama told him, all right, he probably shouldn't have told his mom he had the dream. Now he can't fly ever again. And yeah,
I know he shouldn't have, because then he probably already would have died in a plane crash and we would all be.
Yeah, and John
free
Denver wrote
of
Leaving
Zak
on a Jet
Bagans.
Plane, too. Very weird.
Very weird. Very, very weird. Good point, Russ.
Yeah, that is.
I've got one more little thread on here, and I said we will cover this on a live stream on YouTube or a bonus episode or something. There's a lot of great, fascinating questions here, but this was one from Angry Hottie. It says, "What was he like? Nice, good boss. What was the vibe?" And the employee replies, "He is the Schrodinger's cat of bosses, meaning he is both." Meaning he is both completely uninvolved while being horrendously micromanaging at the same time. He will usually sit in his room at the Black House next door and watch tours on a wall of cameras. He will chime in and bark at staff through headphones if he sees something he doesn't like. As far as personality goes, he's kind of a smarmy dickhead." And so to this, Angry Hottie replies,
Surprising.
"So basically how he is with Billy and Aaron on house calls. Does he seemingly have a massive anxiety disorder? Thanks for answering." And they reply, "Yeah, pretty much. He tends to keep to himself unless he's yelling at you. His anxious tics give off a more autistic air than anything, but I can't confirm or deny anything about that specifically." So I'll leave it at that. That's a good little insight into the world of the Haunted Museum and Zak himself from an employee that went, a rogue ex-employee going on Reddit, answering all these questions.
Very informative.
Calling him
now
a douche.
They've triangulated him. And
Yeah, you know, it's
do you think he's dead?
Yeah, he's the whistleblower. The Boeing whistleblowers, 2 of them have gone down, and this one Ghost Ventures Haunted Museum whistleblower, they found him suicided.
Brave soul.
Somehow.
Thank you for your service.
Reason.
Yeah, I can't give the name of this employee because they have deleted their account now. The thread is still up there, but if you look at the OP name, it just says deleted, so that is gone.
Who knows if this is even real, though? This is all, it could just be completely bullshit, too. Like, there's a chance, there's a slim chance that this person was just like they didn't say it, they didn't reveal anything that we couldn't have already assumed about the haunted museums and working for Zak Bagans.
I don't know.
Quite honest,
the idea of Zak Bagans sitting at a giant wall of TVs like he's Batman,
that's not a surprise.
That's
not a surprise.
Not at all.
Tracks.
I can completely picture that.
That tracks completely. And can you imagine being on that tour? Your tour guide, you could just be like, "Hey, can I see your earpiece? Hey, Zak. Hey, Zak. Hey, buddy. Hey, how you doing? Love you."
It's fucking no, thank
Honestly,
you, man. Ugh.
Zak is kind of like a Batman villain. Like, he just needs to go bad at this point. He's already got the haunted place, to trap Batman in.
He's got his lair.
He's got the evil villain lair filled with all of the demonic things.
But he has no actual decent. He's got no justifiable villain origin story. He's just.
Wait, what are you talking about? What about
his evil?
Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
When Lady Snake went, so did Zak. His mind, he detached from reality. Plus, Ed Gein's Cauldron and the Dollhouse.
No, I did not know that. Yeah,
I can't believe you brought it up again because now I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about.
All right. I'll
don't start crying again. I'm going to cry.
We'll get further into it later, but now we've got to get into everyone's third favorite segment. What's that, Rob?
Is poll results.
Last episode's poll, I can't even say this week's we've been on hiatus a bit. But last episode's poll, what is the Sasquatch? And the choices were human-like creature, ape-like creature, interdimensional creature, or an idea we associate with things that we can't name or something like that. I'm going to ask you, Drea Mora, what do you think the Unbelievers said?
Oh, the shortest answer.
With an ape-like creature?
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Rob?
Is there a he does not exist answer?
Yeah, that would be an idea we associate with things that we can't. Are you going with that one?
I'm going with the longest answer. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, sorry, you guys are both wrong. Interdimensional portal dwelling time traveling thing. With 33% of the vote, people are going for interdimensional Bigfoot is what this Bigfoot creature really is.
I'll take it. Honestly, I'll take it.
Of course, there are others. What is the Sasquatch? Maybe the real Bigfoot are the friends we made along the way from Unbelievable Penguin. Thank you. Yeah, that kind of goes in with the the idea
like
of
that.
things we don't know. Thank you so much, Unbelievable Penguin. What is a Sasquatch? I've seen Sasquatch peeking out from behind a bush and his ass stuck out. I've seen his ass. He had his fur. It was like a dirty gray turned into yellow. From Squatch Lover 69. Ooh, Squatch Lover 69. Are you
Here is
Rod?
Sasquatch peeking out from behind a bush.
Is this Rod Lover 69 with a new skin, a Sasquatch skin, like a Ed Gein kind of situation going on here?
This one's seen his ass, though, so that's all that really matters.
He hit us with a couple. He had seen his ass, which I believe is...
His ass stuck out. I seen his ass.
Yeah,
and there was
also
one more in there.
A little bit of Tim Peeler action was thrown in there. This is a loaded Squatch Lover
Tim
69
Peeler.
edition.
They really
here.
love Squatch.
Who doesn't?
You know, a dirty gray turned into yellow.
There it is. Thank you, Squatch Lover
Yellow.
69. What is the Sasquatch? Bat Squatch with clipped wings from Tony. Just Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Aw.
Thanks, Tony.
That kind of makes sense.
Getting in there, Tony.
We appreciate
Just
it.
a little guy.
What is the Sasquatch? At this point, I just hope it's something more than a man in a monkey suit. Maybe a woman from Whooping Hooper. Yeah, what a weird way to put it. You're right. Maybe it's not a guy in a monkey suit. Maybe it's a lady in there.
Oh man, but you know what that reminds me of? I kind of want to play this clip just because.
Like a monkey face and monkey figure, and this is 8 feet height.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Whooping Hooper. Great poll result. What is the Sasquatch? Sasquatch is actually a corruption of the original term Sack Squatch, which refers to the cryptid habit of kicking people in the nads with its big foot and then hiding behind the bushes to laugh at its victims. Signed, Corrupted Mask. Okay. Sack Squatch.
That's great.
Yeah, you don't want to get
Now,
kicked
it's
with a
Sack
big
Squatch.
foot. Oh, my God. And then
Sounds like a porno sack squatch.
kicking him in the
Just
nads.
got really big balls.
Round balls, 2 littler ones, 1 big one.
There we go.
Oh,
Thank you, Corrupted Mask. What is the Sasquatch? Sasquatch is Bigfoot, and Bigfoot is my dad. At least I wish Bigfoot were my dad. From Taylor, Unbeliever Taylor coming in with the great reference.
I thought that was going to be Scared of My Dad guy.
It's not. This is a Bigfoot for my dad reference.
I wish Bigfoot were my dad.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much, Taylor. What is the Sasquatch? I think Bigfoot is kind of a tulpa. Look, a Sasquatch man on the roof observing us. From Crouching Tiger, Vicious Monkey. Thank you, Crouching Tiger, Vicious Monkey. It's kind of a tulpa.
Bigfoot might be a kind of tulpa.
Exactly. And it's this one's, it's not a gray. It's a Sasquatch.
A gray on the roof observing us.
Good one. Crouching Tiger, Vicious Monkey. What is the Sasquatch? My name is Jeff from Ragman 559. I actually have that, Rob.
My name is Jeff.
Thank you, Ragman 559. What is the Sasquatch? The hide-and-seek champion of the world. Oh, yeah. I'm coming for you next, Hogan. From Ramadas.
Hogan.
I'm coming for you. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you. I can't say. Thank you, Ramadas. You're leading me into getting canceled my own show. I don't know if that's impossible.
Whoa. Hold on. He's just going to take me out like that.
Don't do that, Ramadas, but thank you for chiming in. What is the Sasquatch? Quote, people put fingers up their butts all the time. Drea Mora, host quotes.
Oh, wow. I was about to say it like that's true. And so, wow.
And then we get a timestamp too at 21:20 in the last episode. What? Drea said, people put fingers up their butts all the time. Thank you, host quotes. Always killing it. Love you, host quotes. What is the Sasquatch? What are these them? From the damn creeps. Thank you, the damn creeps. What are these them?
Oh, this place is giving you the damn creeps, huh? Why don't you cut out your whining, all right?
God, that's still one of my all-time favorite clips ever.
Good one, damn creeps. What is the Sasquatch? We need to figure this out. What the hell are we supposed to do? Wander around the world not knowing what the hell they are? From Potato Pants. Oh, Potato Pants coming in awesome.
What the hell else we gonna do? Wander around the world the rest of our life not knowing who the hell we are?
That quote's so deep. It's just like he's having this weird existential monster crisis.
It's like Are we not all just wandering around not knowing who the hell we are our whole lives?
I don't know who the hell any of you are, really.
They're the mountain monsters. They should know who they are. They have the clearest identities of anyone on the History Channel. Thank you so much, Potato Pants. What is the Sasquatch? Bigfoot is neither ape nor man. Bigfoot is a Wookiee that has access to Earth via portals crafted by George Lucas. Star Wars is a retelling of historical events gathered by George Lucas, who is clearly an interdimensional space wizard. Quote, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Is there to avoid legal ramifications from the Skywalker family. We need to stop looking at the Skinwalker Ranch and start investigating the Skywalker Ranch.
We need a character limit is what we need.
What a nerd.
I like when people test it out, and thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thinler's Lisp. Thinler's Lisp.
I can't believe I was that close to a ride. Have you ever seen a Chewbacca?
Evidently.
Oh, that's a good name. Thank you.
Evidently, George Lucas has, and Star Wars is just the Skywalker family's gonna sue. Lots of stuff going on. Thinler's Lisp. I can't say I'm lisping lisp.
You said it with a lisp.
Thinler's Lisp.
It's a difficult word to say.
I just met donkey lips the other day. I can barely talk anymore.
Why.
So thank you so much, Thinler's Lisp. What is the Sasquatch? My old dad. He's a terrifying monster. Scared of my dad guy. And that's the final one.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It all ties together.
Always pulling it in deep at the end, and wow, so many good ones. I could read a couple back if you guys want. There was a lot this time. I really liked.
There was one in between host quotes and potato pants that I wanted to write down, and I can't remember.
That would be the damn creeps. What are these? Them? The damn creeps came in with that one. That was a good one. I liked potato pants.
The wander around the world one was very well structured.
That would be Potato Pants. We need to figure this out. What the hell are we supposed to do? Wander around the world not knowing what the hell they are. I definitely agree with that. I also did like host quotes. Quote, people put their fingers up their butts all the time from Drea. That was a really good one.
It's true.
We also, Taylor, Sasquatch is Bigfoot. Bigfoot is my dad. At least I wish Bigfoot was my dad. And Whooping Hooper, at this point, I just hope it's something more than a man in a monkey suit. Maybe a woman. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why. Tony came in with Bat Squatch with clipped wings. And we had Unbelievable Penguin. Maybe the real big feet are the friends we made along the way. Lots of great ones. I'm going to ask you, Rob Okey, who do you think won this week's poll?
It was the Wander one, the one that I just said. I believe it was, what'd you say his name was?
Potato
Pants.
Potato Pants, yes.
All right, how about you, Drea Mora?
Man, I am very, very much torn. I know I usually go for the ones that are actually like contextual, like they make sense, like they actually answer the question. But this time, I don't know, I'm just in a goofy mood. I liked what are these them because the grammar is like perfect and inspiring. I kind of want to vote for host quotes because
it's you. It's pretty.
Another one. She said she would never vote for host quotes. Now this is twice she's voted for host quotes.
Host quotes did win when he sent the actual clips. Oh, look at Rob. He's getting balloons.
I did not mean to do that. Right. I don't know
how he did that. That's a visual element that's not included in this.
Oh yeah, I saw something out the corner of my eye when I'm looking over here. No, I'll go with I still didn't manage to get the username of who. What are these them?
What are these them was from the Damn Creeps, which is a very good one.
The Damn Creeps. I have to because I love that quote too, or the clip as well.
It was really good. This one.
Who's it going to be?
I know this one's so hard. They're so good.
We can have more than one winner. I mean,
all right, we
can't. There can only be one.
We've been doing. There's been such a long gap. I feel like we can we wrangle too. So
they deserve it. Yeah, they've been waiting for content. So I think we will.
We'll have these are dual wielding champions this time. So congratulations to Potato Pants with We Need to Figure This Out. What the hell are we supposed to do? Wander around the world not knowing what the hell they are. And the Damn Creeps. What are these them? Congratulations, you two. Go get together and kiss because you just won this week's poll results. All right, we've come to the end of the program. But before we go, Rob Okey, you got anything you want to say or plug?
I do. I have an announcement that I have to make, and it is kind of a serious announcement. So I guess I just should probably say it. Basically, the reason why there hasn't been a new episode of The Unbelievers for a little while is just because I have been insanely busy since moving out to Los Angeles. And basically, it's given me a lot less time to focus on stuff like the Unbelievers podcast. And we've been doing the show for 6 years now, and I love this show. And I love Russ. I love Drea. I love working with these guys. And I've learned so much from getting to work on this show over these past 6 years. And the reason why I was able to get this job that I have now is because of the time that I got to spend working on this show. And basically, long story short, the next episode is going to be my last regular episode as a third person, the third seat on this show. But the show must go on, and Rus and Drea have got your back. And I'm not dying. I'm not going to another planet. I still exist, and I will be back on the microphone with the Unbelievers. It's just not going to be an every week thing anymore, for me at least, just because I need to focus on my life and my career and my mental health and a lot of things. And I don't want to hold back this show because I'm busy. And I know that Rus has got a lot of things that he wants to do with this show still. And Drea loves working on this show. So they're going to take care of it. And I'm just going to take a step away. But it's all good. Everything is all good. We all still love each other. The show, obviously, you just heard it. We still have a blast doing it. And this isn't the end, So just, thank you for supporting me since I've been on this show, everybody who listens. And thank you to Rus and Drea for doing this show.
Yeah, and think about it. So Rob's going to be, next time the poll results, you can just be centered on Rob if you want, but Rob's going to be pulling back. We're going to miss having him being full-time doing this. I know it's been hard, but me and Drea are going to move on. We'll have third mics on, or maybe it'll just be the two of us, but we will continue the show.
The show will go on. Do not
will consistently keep going on. We'll go in different directions. We'll miss Rob being on every week, but trust me, I'm going to harangue him into just recording with us. It's a matter of him being available. But Rob, you did it. It's been great doing this with you forever. And I know you're not gone forever. It's not like, you're not, it's not like I'm saying.
Rest in peace, Lady Snake.
Yeah, I got super sad for a second, even though we talked about it and everything. I still my heart sank as if I was hearing it for the first time, but then you're not gone forever. You are going to be back. It's just not going to be consistent. It's not going to be every episode. So stop crying, dummies.
And
yes.
and Rob, you did it. Like you literally. I'm so jealous. You've got your dream job. Rob's always been a huge Last Podcast fan and an Unbelievers fan, Unbelievable fan. And the fact that he has gotten to where, Rob is living in LA, working with Last Podcast on the Left intimately. He is very important to that organization. And they make way more money and way more listeners we will ever have. We know this. So the fact that you've been slumming,
we're millionaires. I don't know.
The fact that you've been slumming it with us still while you're working there is a compliment to how much you like doing this. And if you will still be around, you'll always be part of the show. Having you as the regular third is going to be weird, but we'll move on. We'll figure it out. All right, this is weird. We're just doing.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm still around, but I'm just not going to be on the show. I'm just not going to be on the show every week. That's the only difference.
He'll always have the link. I'll say that. If Rob can make it, he can make it. But we're at the point where we're like, all right, well, just to keep consistency of the show, we will keep going. We'll keep doing it.
And we'll keep the light on for you.
And who knows? There might be a road. Like there might be a time that I come back someday. Or maybe we evolve into something else eventually. Like who knows what the future holds, but I don't plan on stopping making content. It's just I need a break for a little while, and I don't want to hold the show back just because I need to take care of things in my life. I think the show must go on, and people need to unbelieve. They need to continue to unbelieve.
Yes. And we'll try to avoid having these hiatuses and whatnot, and we will stay consistent. Rob will always be welcome. And Drea, dry your eyes. Do you have anything you want to say before we go? I'm kidding.
I need to process emotions. Let me be set. No, I just want to say, I'm going to, reiterate what you said. Like, Rob, this show would not have been anywhere near, what it is. If you're such a core, fixture of it, and I'm glad that you're not entirely hanging up the hat. Like I said, we're gonna bug the fuck out of you, and we're super proud of you. I had something else to say, but I am just bye.
Okay, I'll be back next week. I'll be back next week.
That's right. You're not even. This isn't even the end.
Guys. So save it.
Save your kind of goodbyes or whatever in poll results next week.
This
for
is
Rob.
Because it's not goodbye. So don't even put those goodbyes in your pocket.
It's not goodbye. It's see you later.
It's
okay,
ciao.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's see you later.
It'll be Chow. And I have a couple of plugs. I want to say I want everyone to go and support my buddy Josh, Unbeliever Josh, friend of the show, helps us out a lot. Go follow his YouTube channel, Weird Cinema. He has a great new documentary out about Italian cannibal horror films, and it's long and it's awesome. It's going to give you everything you ever want to know about Italian cannibal horror movies. Really great little niche doc that he put out there. And I was recently a guest. I was lucky enough to be on the Knights of Vader podcast to interview a man named Roger Christensen, who was the set designer for a little movie called Star Wars, the first Star Wars.
Wow.
This is the man who created the first lightsabers. He created all the blasters and all the cool set prop items from the movie Star Wars. He also directed a lot of scenes in Phantom Menace. He's a associate of George Lucas, and he gave us a little bit of time where we got to talk and interview him. Really fun. So go check out Knights of Vader podcast. And that's it. The Unbelievers podcast host today were Drea, Mora, and me, Rus Ryan. Our producer and soundboard engineer for now is Rob Okey. Our editor is Issa YZ. You can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/unbelieverspodcast. The Unbelievers, yes, go to Patreon. Monthly bonus episodes and more. We've still been putting bonus episodes out there even over this hiatus. So if you missed us, you shouldn't have. We're there. You can follow the show on Twitter at UnbelieversPod and Instagram at UnbelieversPodcast. Our Facebook group is the Unbelievable Podcast Network, and check out our merch store at TeePublic. There's a link in the description. Our music advisor is Pandora3373. Our official composer and theme song creator is Unbeliever Aaron, aka Aaron Schilb. Follow him on Instagram at the Aaron Schilb. Our official graphic designer and card maker who designed our logo is Raymond Rowell. Check out his work at Harley Warren Art on Twitter and HarleyWarren.com on the internet. Our official guardian of the bench is at Kraken Stacker. Our official alien bopper is Nunchuck Bob. And from Patreon, official reptilian at the post office is Postal Patty. Our official extraterrestrial woman still waiting for rubbing heads to trend is Crescent Moon. Official Reverend Doctor of the podcast is Non-Newtonian Druid. Our official big island friendly paranormal weatherman is Green Finnock. Our official procrastinator is Jeffrey Hartneriff. Our official baby Yoda publicist is Pam Z. Our official Unbeliever listening between the stations for a message for Art Bell is Scott E. Our official Unbeliever racing puck wedgies is Joe Filler. Our official Madman is Unbeliever Adam. Our official Unbeliever time traveler is Taylor Nelson. Our official ghost hunter is Amelia Childs and Ghost Hunting in New England and Hubie Halloween on Netflix. Our official senior European correspondent is K.M. Miller of the I Don't Know podcast. Our official paranormal art curator is Isis Haynes. Our official Rod is Rod Begliomini. Our official Unbelievers in the titles are Mike Henry, Todd X, Liv Vicious, Sandra Deborah Foles, Ramiro, Trash Baby, Adam Dvorak, Red Troy, Josh. And this week's Unbeliever focus is Chris Padilla from the Facebook group, who enjoyed my recent appearance on the Knights of Vader podcast, interviewing that Roger Christensen guy, the prop designer. Go check that out. And even he thinks my Star Wars collecting is a bit much for a guy my age, to which I had to say,
You're too old to be playing with dolls. I'm such an idiot.
Good night. And of course,
rest in peace, Lady Snake.
Can you sing for me? Can you sing for me? Can you sing for me? Can you please sing for me? Sing something. Sing.
Discontinue! Discontinue!